Hey everyone, my name's Scott Tarbox. I'm an artist working and living in Houston, Texas. Welcome back to an episode of
Drawn Out.
This is my less edited, less narration-focused series where I work on a painting, drawing, whatever I'm working on, and then give you my thoughts as I go along it. So let's jump in and see what project I'm working on today. Right, welcome back to another episode of Drawn Out. In this episode, we're going to be doing a prompt from my partner, Adi, which was a snail cone. And as they explained it, it was a snow cone, but a snail instead. So that's what we're going to do. And this is for the Patreon giveaway like all the previous ones. In the future, I will deviate from this. I plan to do some graffiti or mural pieces where I take you along the whole way and kind of talk through that as well. But this is the most consistent way that I can hit these videos right now, so that's what I'm doing. All right, starting with the sketch. No accent today. I may have hit the only two accents. Well, no, there's other ones that are okay to do, but I don't really know many. I'm real good at like country. Well, maybe not real good, but I'm real comfortable with country and Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I wasn't sure, so when interpreting snail cone, I was trying to decide if it was gonna be like a snail with a cone on its back or a snow cone with a snail in it. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. He's gonna be like that. I don't feel like snails are one of the things that I'm super comfortable drawing. I haven't drawn too many of them, as will probably be evident in this piece. We'll see. They're just like slugs, right? So it's kind of a troubling looking snail tail, but we're gonna push on through this, right? It's not about perfection, especially in this series. You know, like when I sketch stuff for my main projects, I do usually use quite a bit of back and forth to pick what I think is strongest. I make a lot more changes, you know, but that's not the point of the series. He's gonna be goopy. Snow cones are juicy, and so are snails. So we're gonna go ahead and do all that. So again, like, I don't necessarily know that this makes sense the way I'm doing it. I kind of think it doesn't, but we are not here right now to be in the business of being picky. We are here to get it done and finish it. I was gonna slow boys only. You know, we don't want any people in the fast lane zooming by. Fast boys need not apply. This club is for the slow ones. I want to give him some kind of like accents or something. Like, I was thinking like a watch, something, but I'm trying to think of something that would actually fit on to a snail and make sense organically. Oh, I know what I could do. I could have like a sleeping bag up here that's just strapped to his back here, pulling it down. Alright, so we got like a little sleeping bag strapped to his back. What if that was like sushi? No, I'm not gonna change it. And that one's just gonna be like a different colored band or something. You know, he's the cool snail. He's got things on him. All right. Snail cone. I kind of like him. Cool dude. Cool, sketch is done. I'm happy with him. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the outline as usual. Doing the outside first. And you know, I've been kind of looking at my pieces from the past. My color pencil style has kind of evolved throughout the years, and I change things up with my spray paint too. Like when I first started, I used hard outlines on everything, and then there was a point where I dropped that and started trying to do more of a bridge between realism and cartoony, and then I completely pretty much got rid of the outlines, but used a lot of black for a long time in my scales, meaning the 5 or 4 colors I use going from darkest to lightest, and ultimately really liked using black, but a couple of times, which are a mural I did in Portland and a mural I did in Seattle, I abandoned black as a step in my shading entirely. I still had black for areas where it was super dark, but nowhere as like a regular part of the colors, if that makes sense. However, so in those pieces I would use like a dark, say there was a lot of purple in the piece, I would use a dark purple for the outline, and I would have an outline, but the outline wouldn't be the last part, it would be one of the first parts I did, and sometimes I would cut back through it. It didn't have to stay intact for the whole piece, and just didn't use black. And I noticed that my pieces were just really vibrant, as you know, I don't know, and I kept going back and forth between, you know, should I get rid of black or should I not, because especially indoor pieces, some of them end up looking just really dark. And I think it's something I'm gonna start doing again, because the piece I did for my friends, the T-Rex, that's one where I did the other style with no black or whatever, because his, you know, interior rooms are pretty dark, and I didn't want it to look super dark, especially him being young and everything. I wanted it to be bright and colorful, and occasionally it makes me thinking, yeah, I should just go back to not using black. So I might try not using it for a while and see how I feel about it. We'll see. Oh, but what I was gonna say is that with my colored pencil pieces too, I used to use also more black, and I started using less, and then I almost like got rid of it entirely. Not entirely, I still use it as an outline, but I stopped, and I'll still use it to make lines heavier. I'll still use it to make lines heavier to make them stand out, or like do a shadow underneath, but I don't really use it to convey just darker areas, and I might bring that back too. We'll see. I'm gonna try it on this one a little bit. I think the trick is that it is good to have it, but just not too much. With the murals, I don't know. I can never make up my mind. And I mean, one way might just not be better, because I mean, it's not like I dislike all of the murals in any of the camp, or even dislike any of them. It's just that occasionally I do one in one style, and I'm like, no, yeah, that's definitely the style I want to do. Because yeah, the gator I did earlier this year, I think in March, I didn't make a video out of it. That's one of my favorite murals ever, and that one definitely follows the lots of black, lots of contrast, but something about the palette, I guess, of the background and everything makes it not look too dark. I'm not sure why exactly, but that piece is awesome. And then there's some other pieces with the black that I feel like, you know, are still good, or I'm still happy with them, but they're maybe a little too dark. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where I try to give myself a break a little bit and recognize that art's always changing and evolving, and some pieces will just come out better even if it's, I don't know, the way you've been doing it, or you change it. And I think it's just important to keep an open mind about it and not necessarily have to have it figured out that this is what you do. Because I mean, that's honestly one of the issues that I've faced with art, is you get to where you're like, okay, this is how I'm gonna do things, and it makes stuff faster, but it can also sometimes make it less exciting, right? Because I think a big part of what's interesting or fun about art when we're young and we're growing up and doing it is because it's a place to play and learn new things and explore. And then if you, I don't know, I'm not saying that formulas aren't good, and a lot of what I do when I paint murals is formulaic in terms of how I do the process once I'm there. I've done the sketch and everything. The sketch is really the main creative part, right? But there are, you know, playing mural artists who show up to a wall with basic ideas and then do a lot of play and exploration. It might take them longer, but yeah, it's one of those things where I think it's important to keep play and exploration in your pieces. Oh shit. To keep it fun for yourself, and it's something I'm always working on. I think that's part of why doing videos was so fun for me, is because it's a new way to express myself and try new things and stuff and learn new things. Not to say that I can't learn more with art. I mean, that's a never-ending thing, but with video, I'm, you know, in my infancy in terms of my overall knowledge about everything. Alright, so now I'm gonna do the same step that I usually do, where I, you know, make some of these lines heavier and everything, but I'm gonna go a little bit more than usual. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, see, I already like that a little bit better. It's not, and I've only done a little bit more black than normal. It's interesting how this goes though too, because I really do feel like my murals could benefit from less black and using a dark color tone for the outline, for an outline when I normally don't use an outline. It's just, it never ends, man. You're always finding new things you want to try or changing it up. I'm pushing way too hard with this. That good way to fatigue your hand faster than you want it to. Not that you want it to ever fatigue, but ever since I was a kid, man, I pressed too hard. First got Prismacolors in high school and was just like, yep, I'm gonna press very hard. Yeah, I think these heavier lines and this little addition of what I'm doing is adding more depth. I'm liking it. I think it was a good call. Just to be careful not to go too heavy with it, because you can really make it feel like too much too fast pretty quickly. My hand actually might be hurting because this pen is just too fine of a tip for what I'm doing. We'll see. Or, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what that means. Yeah, so that's done. So now I mainly just have to do his head area. I think where I used to do it too much was that any surface that was like a bottom area like this, I would add it, which I am actually gonna add it right here. But I would also just take it too high, I think. I think less is more with this. This could be something cool, because Inktober's coming up and I'm gonna do work on that. And that's something as well that, like, I used to do cross hatching, and I've changed up how I shade a lot, and I started getting rid of all the extra shading to try to create more clarity overall, and like that decision, think it's good, but maybe I can bring back a little bit more black just to add, you know, a little more contrast. The thing is, like, if you do this kind of thing or this kind of thing everywhere, then it ends up making it really hard to read in my experience. And at least with my style, you know, everybody has their own way of doing stuff. But I feel like if I add a shadow right here, like it would be kind of messy and hard to understand exactly what it was. So I'm trying to just make intelligent choices about where I can do that without it being confusing. All right, so shading, outline, all that's done, so we're gonna move on to the colored pencil part. And I think I'm gonna make him, you know, traditional snow cone colors for the most part. So I'm gonna make, I guess I'm gonna do the snow cone first, which is gonna be white here. Maybe his mattress will be white. So we'll do white. We have a cream, and like a light gray. That's light gray. Cool. Wow, I picked them all first try. That's cool. It never happens. Okay. So darkest color first as usual. Not that I felt like they were not good or anything like that. I was happy with them, but it's like a nice medium between the two ways that I've done the line work. I think this is my favorite. So that's awesome. All right, so I was thinking blue for his shell. Probably darken that a little bit right here. And not go right on top of that since it's drying. I think if there's less white, the red won't look so jarring. Avi just saw it, and Avi liked it a lot, but I just feel like it could be different. I don't know. And Avi mentioned that maybe I could do a series of snail cones, and I actually think that's a pretty good idea if I could come up with creative ways to interpret the prompt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like that a lot better. Now I wish this wasn't pink. I wish it was white, but yeah, it is what it is. I could just use the gel pen to make it white, but we're gonna come back and give this guy some pupils. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with his eyes, and then decided I wanted it to be pupils. Now, last step, the gel pen. I'm gonna go ahead and actually draw over this and then decide later if I want it to be, because if I decide that I want this to actually just be white, I gotta wait a while before I can go over this. So I wanna do this now, and then if I change my mind later, I won't have to wait as long. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking the video, subscribing, leaving a comment, anything for the algorithm demon. There are links down below to support me on Patreon as well as merch. And if you'd like to watch the last video in the series of Drawn Out, you can click this one right here.